So who are you?
I'm Paul Stamatiou. I'm one of the co-founders of Skribit.com. I'm a recent Georgia Tech graduate as well.
Very cool. And who are you?
I'm Calvin Yu, and I'm also co-founder of Skribit.
Very cool. So what is Skribit? Most people haven't heard of that before, and we'll talk a little bit about it.
Skribit helps bloggers cure writer's block, as we like to say, by receiving blog post suggestions from the readers and the Skribit community as well. Essentially, you install a widget on your site. It helps you get suggestions from your readers, and then they can follow those suggestions and get notified when you actually write about that suggestion.
Okay. And why do we need, tell me some stories of how people are using it.
So initially, I came up with the idea for Skribit because I've been blogging for 4 or 5 years now, and I had this problem of I want to write original content that my readers are going to be involved with, not just the same kind of news that everyone else is talking about. And it was always a problem to find out what I wanted to write about. So I had this idea for this way for my readers to suggest for me. And then Startup Week in Atlanta came along, and I went to it, and it's basically a forum for people to come together, pitch ideas, and they select an idea and they start kind of running with it. Yeah. So that's where I met Calvin, and I pitched the idea. I convinced everyone to start working on it, and that was the very basic origin of Skribit back in November 2007. Okay. And then after that, we kept working on it.
Does a blogger have to pay anything to use it?
So right now we're pretty much the freemium plan. We have pro accounts and a free account. Free account, 90% of people can just get along just fine. But if you have multiple blogs, you want more customization of our widgets, that's a pro account. It's about $25 a year.
Okay. And let's say I do have multiple blogs. Like I have the Building 43 blog, and I have my Scobalizer personal blog. Do I use the same widget on both sites, or do I?
So you use the same account, okay. And that account can have different profiles for each blog, and then you have different widgets for each one.
Got it.
So you can keep different things separate.
And so, can I prompt my users to tell me certain kinds of topics? Like, for instance, I might be going to Google next week, or next week I'm going to the Vancouver Olympics, which will be fun.
Wow.
So, and that's usually way off of what I usually write about. So I don't really have a good sense of what I would want to write about for my users. So can I prompt them, like, what should I cover at the Vancouver Olympics, or what should I go see in Vancouver?
So there's two kind of ways we approach that, because definitely a big problem is you have to tell your readers about Skribit so they can suggest things for you. So you can there's a button that you can post a tweet out there, what should I write about, here's my blog profile, things like that. And you can also customize the prompt on the widget itself or on your profile. It usually says, what should I write about? Or you can change it to, what kind of computer should I review, things like that. So you can change the prompts as you see fit. Okay.
And can I come to Skribit and see questions left by other bloggers to get an idea of, or even the feedback that's coming into Skribit from?
Yeah, so the Skribit community, all the suggestions are public right now. So you can go see your other bloggers, you can follow them, and get notified of their recent activity, what they blogged, what they commented on. And you can explore suggestions by popularity, what's recently blogged. And you can just go there and browse, and if you actually like a suggestion, you can add it to your own blog. Okay. So that's a big problem trying to secure is bloggers that don't have huge traffic, but they want ideas for what to write about. So they can just browse our archive of suggestions and see what might be relevant to them.
Oh, that's really cool. And can you then write a blog post and say, hey, and link it back to?
Yeah. So the way it works is we have this concept of claiming a suggestion. So you can claim it, and it gets copied in a sense, and then you can link to it, and then people can see from the original one who else made a post derivative of that.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Tell me about the challenges, because you're very early stage, right? You're starting this mostly with your own money. Mm-hmm. You haven't gotten funding or anything like that, and it's what, 2 or 3 guys right now? Or?
Yeah. So it's
tell me about the challenges of starting a company like that size.
So actually, when I graduated from Georgia Tech in December of 2008, we received a small seed fund from Georgia Tech. They have this fund called the Edison Fund that helps Georgia Tech related startups in some sense. And so we've been working with that right now. And I'm full-time, Calvin is part-time. We also have a developer, Alex Kumans. He found us on Twitter. He actually wanted to intern for us. And he's free, but he's making some great progress. And I wrote some letters of recommendation to his colleges, so it's working out pretty well.
Very cool. And tell me a little bit about the infrastructure, because tell me what you do with this data. You shove it into a MySQL database, or what? Tell me a little bit about the infrastructure.
Right. Right now, it's all built on Ruby on Rails. We do store all our data in MySQL, and that's pretty much about it.
We also for widgets, we serve them with Amazon. S3 for the JavaScript, actually CloudFront, so it's a CDN. And then we also utilize S3 for backups, just all our databases, just so things don't go down.
Yep. So you're all almost all cloud-based.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the hardest thing to build in the service?
We experimented a lot with the widgets initially. We had an iframe-based version, and then we found cross-domain issues with logging in. So then we migrated to a JavaScript widget, and then just nailing down how the widget was going to work was kind of a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And we have another widget coming out soon that's actually after the post, just trying to see how we can get more engagement out of people, because the sidebar widget is kind of usually somewhere down someone's sidebar or the tab. So we're just trying to find out how people can get more engagement out of it. And we feel that widget right after the post that says maybe, oh, this post was created with Skribit, here are some related suggestions, or give us a suggestion through here.
Can I have a conversation about the ideas that my readers are sending in?
So you can do it on a per suggestion basis. Each suggestion has its own page, so you can comment on it. You can change the status on it, and anyone that follows that will say, "Oh, Robert's not interested in this.
Yeah.
Here's why." Or you just close it out completely by replying to it.
And
Also, if you get duplicate suggestions, there's a way to merge them, so they become one.
Awesome. Or a similar, cover similar things.
And we also have our pro accounts have suggestion moderation. If you get too much, you just don't want anything to go live. Or we also have, we search for bad words if you enable that. We also have spam built in.
We also allow users to follow other people's suggestions, so you can actually see which suggestions are most popular. So if you have a lot of them, you can actually tell, these are the ones I should be focusing on, because a lot of people want to follow want to see what the results are of the
very
suggestion.
cool.
We also let you sort however you want. Followers is one, and we also have a hotness algorithm, which is kind of based on the Reddit algorithm for their site, also Hacker News.
Do you have
It's based on
crowdsourcing of ideas? Because if I come to your blog and I see 10 ideas, maybe I like one of them, I want to say, hey, do that one first, and rate it up.
We really don't do following. We don't do voting. We do following. So it's not really like a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing. You just want to follow it, and we just tell you have a lot of followers. You have a lot of recent followers too. That's where the hotness algorithm comes in.
Basically.
And can other people see, oh, this item has 50 followers on it?
Yeah.
So you can see the relative popularity of ideas.
And in that nature, we also have on our site different ways of viewing them. So we have a visualization based on color. So it'll say hot is red, and then it has like a bar. So it's easy just like glancing at the page what is popular.
Can I permalink to a specific suggestion?
Yeah.
For instance, if you had a list and somebody said, oh, I want you to cover this at South by Southwest, I'd want to be able to link to that from Twitter and say, hey, go tell.
Exactly. So each suggestion has its own page, and you can also we use Awesome or AWSEM, the shortener, and you just click a Twitter button and it makes a short link for you.
One last thing, how did you get your name? Because your name is very interesting.
It was kind of funny. It was just startup weekend, and there were different teams. There was a marketing team, and they were like spending hours one night just trying to come up with ideas. And then they came up with this basic high-level idea of something about like writing, like write a blog post, and then someone's like, what about the word scribe? Let's use that. So we started searching for domains, and of course scribe with C was taken, and then we kind of just looked for things, and Skribit came about, and the frog logo just kind of hopped into that area. I mean, Skribit sounds like ribbit, so we got a frog in there, and then there was an artist on hand who just drew it with his pad, and we copied that in Photoshop and started using it.
Very cool. Tell me a little bit about Atlanta. What's happening in the startup community here? Because it seems like it's growing, but it's still fairly small and fairly intimate. And
the first time I had any experience with the startup community was the actual startup weekend 2 years ago, or 3 years ago actually. And since then, it's definitely grown. There's a lot of tech events. There's a startup-wide conference tomorrow. Just the startup community is definitely growing. There are some contentions about whether there's money supporting the community. We have a recent startup called Shopwith Ventures, I believe, that helps fund companies, kind of like YC. And it's movements like that that are going to keep us going.
How's adoption going, by the way? Tell me a little bit about how the market's reacting to you, because you don't really have any competitors, do you? I haven't seen too much.
I mean, there's the basic feedback competitors, but we're definitely trying to say that we're all about bloggers, so we're trying to support them.
Yeah, and you've been on TechCrunch and Mashable and all that fun stuff. So
I mean, we used to have a competitor called Ask a Blogger, but I haven't heard about them too much recently. So we're trying to stick in there and see what happens.
Very cool. We learn about it at Skribit.com.
That's it.
Skribit.com.
That's it.
Very cool. Thanks for coming out and showing it to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.